We know so little about everything that surrounds us that we could be surprised when we discover the truth. Here are 33 more amazing truths about our world. Number 1. Mushrooms can be lethal. The two most commonly involved species in mushroom poisonings are the death cap, which contains 7 toxins and can be fatal even with a single bite, and the destroying angel, often mistaken for an edible white mushroom. Number 2. Think you're avoiding monosodium glutamate, MSG, by checking product labels? You might be mistaken. Food manufacturers now hide MSG in packaged foods by listing it under other names, such as autolyzed vegetable protein or hydrolyzed yeast, torula yeast, soy extracts, yeast extract, and protein isolate. Number 3. The pufferfish known as fugu is a delicacy in Japan and Hong Kong, but it contains lethal amounts of tetrodotoxin, a poison 500 times more potent than cyanide. Several consumers die each year from eating pufferfish. Number 4. Because they are filter feeders, shellfish can accumulate high levels of toxins from the algae they consume. If consumed in sufficient quantities, these toxins can be deadly. Number 5. Rhubarb leaves contain a high concentration of oxalate, a toxic substance in large doses. The stems contain a lower concentration of oxalate and also act as a good laxative. Number 6. Potatoes contain toxic compounds called glycoalkaloids that cannot be reduced by cooking. Consuming large amounts of glycoalkaloids can cause diarrhea, vomiting, and, in severe cases, even death. Number 7. Apricot, cherry, and peach pits contain cyanogenic glycosides, which release cyanide. It would take a large amount to kill you, but cases of children in Turkey suffering from apricot seed poisoning have been reported. Number 8. Chocolate contains theobromine, an alkaloid that can be toxic to humans in large amounts and can even kill dogs, parrots, horses, and cats in small quantities. Number 9. If not properly processed, tapioca can be toxic. It's derived from the cassava root, which contains a cyanide-like natural compound called linamarin. If the plant is dried, soaked, and properly cooked, linamarin becomes harmless and safe for consumption. Number 10. The well-known toxic substance, arsenic, is approved by the FDA as an additive in poultry feed and is given to at least 70% of the chickens raised for consumption in the United States. Arsenic has been linked to cancer, birth defects, diabetes, and death. Number 11. Despite being banned by all European nations and Canada, the synthetic hormone RBGH, recombinant bovine growth hormone, is still used by American farmers to increase the growth rates and body mass of cows, despite being associated with higher risks of breast cancer and hormonal disorders in humans who consume milk from these cows. Number 12. Overconsumption of purine-rich foods like lobster, goose liver, and kidneys can lead to gout, a form of arthritis. Crises can last for weeks and can damage joints, tendons, and other tissues. Number 13. Commercial animal and poultry producers routinely administer antibiotics to non-ill animals to help them grow larger or as a preventive measure to counteract stressful, overcrowded, and unsanitary living conditions. However, excessive antibiotic use leads to drug resistance development and can result in consumer products contaminated with drug-resistant bacteria, causing illnesses. Number 14. Campylobacter is a bacterium that can cause fever, diarrhea, and abdominal cramps. Most raw poultry meat contains Campylobacter, making undercooked chicken the main source of this infection. Number 15. E. coli O157 H7 is a bacterial pathogen found in cow feces. Consuming water or food contaminated with even a small amount of bovine waste can lead to bloody diarrhea, abdominal cramps, temporary anemia, and kidney failure. Number 16. A century ago, the most common foodborne diseases were typhoid fever, tuberculosis, and cholera. Today, we have a new list of food infections to worry about, including recent discoveries like cyclosporiasis, a diarrhea-causing parasite found in Guatemalan blueberries. Number 17. In 2008, a police officer in Nebraska received $40,000 after suing a Taco Bell KFC restaurant that served his family food containing urine and saliva from an employee. His son was hospitalized with gastroenteritis and dehydration after the meal. The employee who contaminated the food was fined $100, but kept their job. Number 18. The term natural, or all-natural, has no nutritional meaning and is not defined or regulated by the FDA, so packaged products and restaurants can use this term at their discretion. For example, the fast food chain Arby's claims to serve 100% all-natural chicken, but uses artificial flavors. Number 19. An order of Aussie cheese fries at the Outback Steakhouse contains 2,900 calories, the entire recommended daily calorie intake for an average person. Number 20. Many low-fat menu items at Applebee's restaurants contain over 500 calories. For instance, the low-fat chicken quesadilla contains a whopping 742 calories and 90 grams of carbohydrates per serving. Number 21. A medium fruit and yogurt smoothie at Dunkin' Donuts contains 4 times the amount of sugar compared to a chocolate-glazed donut. Number 22. The International House of Pancakes Omelette Feast contains 1,335 calories and 35 grams of saturated fat. That's half the recommended daily intake of fat and 3 times the suggested daily intake of cholesterol. Number 23. Despite having an extensive menu, TGI Fridays restaurant chain provides nutritional information only for low-fat dishes, under 500 calories and 10 grams of fat each. There are only 3 such selections in the entire menu. Number 24. More American teenagers are killed in car accidents than by any other cause, accounting for over 1/3 of all deaths. The risk is highest in the first year of driving, increasing with the number of teenage passengers in a car driven by an unsupervised teen. Number 25. About 100 people die each year from choking on ballpoint pens. Number 26. Some scientists view love in terms of addiction, and they might be right. One study found that the same brain region responsible for drug addiction is also involved in monogamous bonding. Losing your love can feel like withdrawal from drugs. Number 27. Studies examining what heart attack victims did and felt in the hours leading up to the event found acute emotional stress to be a common trigger. In one study, over half the subjects reported being very angry or highly stressed in the 24 hours preceding their heart attack. Number 28. Eating and drinking while driving is a serious problem. Most incidents occur while drivers are en route to work. If they spill something on their work clothes, they're more likely to try to remove the stain, become distracted, and cause an accident. Number 29. A 2000 survey on driving habits ranked adjusting the radio as the most common distraction, with over 60% of drivers admitting to doing so. Other reported distractions include eating while driving, 57% do it, and turning around to talk to passengers, 56% do this. Surprisingly, only 1/3 of drivers mention talking on a mobile phone as a distraction. Number 30. In the period 2005 to 2006, Black Americans had higher rates of depression, 8.0%, than white Americans, 4.8%. For both white and black individuals living below the poverty line, rates of depression were higher than those with higher incomes. Number 31. Studies show that 87% of people fear getting stuck in boring conversations at dinner parties. Number 32. President Ronald Reagan allowed astrologers to influence some of his decisions, including the timing of international summits, presidential announcements, and the schedule of the presidential aircraft, Air Force One. Number 33. The television viewing habits of millions of Americans meet the criteria for substance abuse, displaying many similar symptoms of addiction, such as inability to control viewing, using television as a sedative, feeling out of control during viewing, feelings of anger at excessive viewing, and distress when unable to watch. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.